Well, what a sight this is. A beautiful evening and the promise of a match that will really get the juices flowing. And few venues rise to an occasion quite like this one. It is, of course, the world-famous Old Trafford. It is a monster matchup, Jim Beglin.
Well, under normal circumstances, this is a massive matchup, and I'm not totally in agreement with the view that friendlies tend to take the...
And a shot! He's scored!
Listen, the big names earn their reputations for precisely the reason we've just seen. They have a habit of making their presence felt, and here we are, early stages. He struck one, and he looks hungry for more.
Oh, beautifully dispatched. There was no reaching that.
Well, Peter, I think the keeper knew straight away he was never going to get to it.
Bilbao are already chasing the game. They didn't envisage that. And that interception was most necessary.
He read that really well and stopped it.
Højlund. And no, that was never going to make it. Manchester United leading here thanks to that early goal. 1-0 the score. Sunset. Danny Vivian. And De Galarreta. And here's Iñaki Williams. He's through here. Casemiro. Berenguer!
We'll simply have to tip his hat to the keeper here because that was a magnificent save.
Mount, who does have an assist to his name. Bilbao deciding to turn to the long ball now. That is pretty evident.
Yeah, it is clear that they've decided to take a more direct route to goal now, but, you know, they can't just continue doing this and make it predictable. And importantly, they've got to look to win the second ball. If they do that, they should get right up the pitch.
Yeah, they really should.
Size really matters, and it's time to make it matter now.
Garnacho! And he's heaved it away. Bruno Fernandes. And here's Højlund. Berenguer. Mount. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, it's a promising build-up. There's plenty of really nice passing. 1-0 here just before the break, and it looks as though it's going to stay that way for now. Højlund has found the net here, of course. Oh, good read.
That was well played, well stopped.
Jaureguisa. Yeray. And that has left him in a heap. And the first half is done. Well, it's a half which has simmered along nicely, warming up to what may be a more open second half to follow.
I think on the whole the team linked up very well and has been organised, hence their position. They can afford to be a little braver with the ball, I think, something they'll be told many times, I'm sure, during the interval.
Manchester United leading a cagey game here. It's had its moments, and it's 1-0 at the break. That gets things going for the second half. A solitary goal. That has been the crucial difference. Manchester United, different to some extent this half. Details of the changes to come soon.
Well, I think this is probably a good time, Peter, to make ambitious change.
And here's Højlund. Berenguer. Yuri. Decent progress down the left. Engages and forces him off the ball. Well, it didn't look good for a while, but that was brave defending and they got away with it.
You know, it was an intervention that had to be made. Serious trouble lay in store.
Oh, he's played it in low and he's cut it out.
Yeah, that's top defending and preventing him turning, which can open up many possibilities.
Berenguer. So, Jim, what are you thinking?
Well, Peter, if they're attempting to see out the game with such a narrow advantage, there's room for trouble. I just think they're sending out the wrong message. This could backfire.
Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho. And here's Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United do have options available on the bench if they want to go that way. Casemiro. And here's Højlund. And here's Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho.
They may end up with some regret with this tactic, but you have to admire their commitment to goals.
Manchester United still ahead by the game's only goal. Mount. Garnacho! And that's caused a worry or two.
Garnacho has taken on too much there. That isn't one of the areas he thrives on.
Time then for the first substitution of the game.
I think you have to admire his willingness to keep plugging away, but the manager has done him a big favour, I think, by taking him off. You know, he was looking very, very leggy.
Oh, and he's through the middle. Real chance here. Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Well, that was tense. Boy, that was tense. The two sides separated by the game's only goal. Højlund claiming the Man of the Match award, and there is very little room for argument. Your final thoughts, Jim?